DUCKSIDE, the Rust game, but you're a duck. Funny thing about this game is a lot of people thought it was an April Fool's joke because the trailer and announcement trailer was released on April Fool's.
Tisk tisk. Then
It was,
it is
it's,
indeed a real game.
it is indeed a real game. Let's pull up the trailer
Yeah, let's pull up the trailer because
of DUCKSIDE because this thing is ridiculous.
I don't think any explanation is going to do it justice.
Yeah, so I think just watching the video or explaining the video if you're just listening, we'll kind of go from there. Once I learn how to pull this up with our new system, there we go. Boop,
Very
you
nice.
see that? There we go. We're moving on.
Okay, if you guys are just listening right now, we are looking at a duck with a gun. And
Yeah.
he's just soaring over the land. But there's a lot more to this than
Yeah.
so we just talked about like squirrel with a gun.
Yeah.
And I think people are gonna kind of get that kind of vibe to it, but that's not what we're looking at all.
No.
We're looking at like a building. Like this is a builder too.
Yeah.
You just
This is Rust as a duck.
basically, yeah. This is basically Rust. You are just a duck.
Yeah. A third person duck, and you can shoot bow and arrows as you're flying. You can fly into other people's bases, steal their stuff, shoot shotguns, shoot nail guns. Like, it's just so random. There's explosions. There's actually humans that you kill.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't play it as a human. You kill the humans on this, like, outside the island, I think, is what I saw. Yeah, and the base building is very similar to Rust. It looks like you can team up with the other players and protect your base and things like that. So it's just unique.
And you know what's really interesting to me is when if you were just to explain this game to somebody, you would think that it would be kind of low budget but guys, if you're just listening, if you look at the trailer, it actually looks good.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like a fun game.
It looks fun, but it looks like a well-built game. Like the mechanics behind it look good, and the graphics behind it look good too. Like I would expect for a title like this that's kind of what's a good way to put it? Not like gimmicky, but just kind of quirky to be
Low effort.
I wouldn't say low effort. I would like kind of quirky. Like it's kind of a weird, kind of goofy idea.
Yeah.
I would expect it to look worse than it does. Does it look better than you think it? Like
I think
you
it does.
Think
It has the feel of like Goat Simulator. You know what I mean? Like it has it's a quirky and fun game, but it looks good as you're playing it.
Right. Yeah. No. I would expect if you were to just tell me about this game, I would expect this game to look not nearly as good as it looks.
I would agree. And some random things about it is it takes elements of Rust and DayZ in a way. You play as a duck that you harvest, craft, and loot to make different weapons, expand your base. You can raid other people's bases. Some of the weapons you can make that were shown in the trailer is bows and hatchets, nail guns, and it's just so random to make Rust with a duck, and I think that's funny. And it seems to be the theme of our games recently with the squirrel with the gun, and what was the other one that we just talked about last week too?
It
was another animal game.
Yeah, it was another animal game.
It'll come to me as we're talking about it.
I mean, this all started with Mouse. Do you remember when we were talking about Mouse?
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse,
the Mickey Mouse
shooter.
noir. Like,
yeah,
dude, yeah, this is becoming a thing. Giving cute animals guns is becoming a thing.
Yeah, and last one was Empire of Ants, is what we talked about last week. Yeah, so I mean, they're just fun games, and I think it's because like people are starting to, I don't want to say lose interest in the same style of game. Like, there's so many Rusts, there's so many Valheims and Sons of the Forest. Like, they're all sort of feel the same, and I think like the developers of this games, which is tinyBuild Games, they're just, what can we do to spice up these games a little bit? And I think they're doing it in a fun way.
And I think we need it. Honestly, there's this is the good and the bad, the yin and the yang of the gaming industry at the moment. There's so many games. There's so many games, and it like just nonstop coming out, and that's a great thing because we have so many games to play. But it's a bad thing too because it's nearly impossible to not have carbon copies. Yeah. And I think you're going to just see a lot more of this where developers are finding kind of quirky ways to take gameplay mechanics that work and display them in a new light.
I almost want to say it's like a gimmicky thing, but it's not at the same time because like it works still. Like it's still it's goofy, but it's a goofy that will have people interested in a way where it's like I played Rust, yeah, it's cool. I played Valheim, that's cool, but I've never played a shooter duck game where I'm building bases. Like it's different and it's fun.
Yeah, it's totally different and it's totally fun. And like I said, I think you're gonna be seeing a lot more of this. People are gonna, people are coming up with new ways to display these same kind of ideas in a new light. And honestly, like we said, it looks good. It looks sound. Especially in a game like this where I'm looking at the trailers and I'm trying to find like, oh, that looks like it's a little wonky. Like that looks a little clunky. I couldn't find anything.
The one thing that I have is I wish that like when they're holding tools, their little duck arms would be out instead
Yeah.
of just floating next to them. That was one thing I was like, that'd be kind of funny. But even though like I was watching like an extended view or play of the game and like he was flying and his hammer was just like spinning in a circle as he was flying. So I was like, that's kind of funny, but it would be kind of cute to see like holding a little hammer as he's wobbling through to go knock down trees and stuff. And the fact that he like hits his head against the wall until he gets the tool, it's kind of funny.
I'm typically not like a big fan of this game. I think I'm gonna play this one just
You think
because.
so? Yeah.
It just looks fun. It just looks
Yeah.
like a good time.
And one thing that we've talked about this in the past and got a lot of slack for, do you notice that there doesn't seem to be a water or food intake meter? I didn't see it. I could have missed it, but I don't like that in survival games. But
I didn't see it. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to jinx it. But as of
yeah,
right now, I don't think that food and water is a necessity.
which is nice because like we said in our old videos, I don't play video games to drink water. So we got a lot of slack for that. But anyways, it looks really fun.
I think it looks like a great game. Again, guys, we love supporting our small devs here. This is another small dev game, I believe, right?
Tiny. I know they've made other things that I've heard of. It's tinyBuild Games. I know they've made some things, but smaller games, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I think it's all smaller games. So yeah, if this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and drop this on your Steam wish list. I think it's gonna be a lot more fun than people think. And just looking at the game, like it looks sound. It looks really really sound. I know it's a quirky kind of funny idea, but it looks like a well built game, and I don't think it's gonna be something where if you play it, you're gonna be like, I'm disappointed in this. I think it's going to be exactly what you think it is. And yeah, I'm excited to play it.